Hi there. I just finished filming the clip that you are about to watch, and I accidentally filmed the entire thing with my head slightly out of the frame. I would refilm the whole thing, but unfortunately I can't uncrush my recycling. So instead, my workaround is I'm going to include a little smiling picture of my face at the side of the screen, so you can feel some emotion, some like human connection. Yeah, you can see my mouth, but you just can't see my eyes, which is normally needed for engaging an audience. So I'm not really expecting this video to do very well, but yeah, I mean, the whole kind of point of my approach to YouTube is to not be perfect and just be authentic and make mistakes and not care so much. So I think I'm going to keep it and just post it. So please forgive me and bear with me. Hello. Today we are in my kitchen. I'm sat on the floor and this is a hell of a lot of recycling that I want to flatten so that I can fit it in the recycling bin. It's very glamorous, and I thought I would also do that and talk about overcoming the fear of people not liking you and the fear of people not agreeing with you. On that note, let's begin. Ooh. Okay, I want to kind of give a disclaimer and a slight excuse as to why there is an enormous amount of recycling that's been hoarded in the flat. Also, this is my little cat. I don't know if you can see her. The reason is because I think the recycling collection, like a cycle of it for my building, got skipped, and so the recycling bins are just so... I'm obsessed with sparkling water, so you're going to see a lot of sparkling water bottles, and I apologise for my overconsumption of sparkling water. But yeah, the recycling bin men didn't come for a couple of weeks until this morning, and it just meant that the recycling bins are just really full, so you're just forced to kind of like hoard recycling in your home until they finally take it. So they took it this morning, so I'm flattening it so that there can be more space in the bin for the future. You're going to see a couple of themes. There's going to be a lot of sparkling water bottles, as I've already mentioned, and a lot of oat milk cartons. And that probably just typecasts me right then and there, the kind of person I am. But I personally I think we need to get away from trying to understand people in such like simple, broad strokes, but I know it's human nature. Okay, so the fear of like people disagreeing with you and not being liked, basically kind of like the fear of hate comments. The fear of hate comments. So I posted my first video, like just talking to a camera, and that was very momentous for me because I've also got an audiobook on the go. Watch that if you want to. I'm reading through 1984 by George Orwell. I haven't read it since I was like 21, 22, and so it's nice to kind of like read it again now, and because there's no copyright on it anymore because he's been dead since the 50s, you can just share it. So I thought I'd just do that, and that was how I first actually managed to get myself to like post something at all. But hello. But yeah, I've posted about like just starting because I'm like a massive overthinker and I find it really easy to think myself out of things. And I mentioned in that video about thinking about like the fact that I'm like writing down ideas of stuff I want to talk about all the time. And that is true. And I've written a few ideas just today. It's kind of crazy. But I don't quite feel ready to talk about them yet because I'm trying to address every like fear that I feel in myself. And I feel a fear of actually making a stand online, like publicly. My Instagram has been on private for a few years now, and increasingly within like the last, that's kind of the only other social media I have, and increasingly within the last couple of years or so, I've kind of got an ick for Instagram, and I haven't really posted anything on there. So because I am not in the habit of like posting there and like sharing like my opinions about things, I've become really, really shy about them. And I want to overcome that. And like, I also want to kind of like dig into like, why am I so scared of that? And like, maybe other people can relate to this. But I think essentially like online, we all know about trolls. We all know, we've seen like comment sections and people just being mean for no reason. I think there's a fear of that. But it's kind of like, I feel like I've just been sort of sitting on the fence, and fear of being judged, fear of like, you know, I've already talked about it a bit with the oat milk, a fear of being like typecast as a certain kind of person. Whereas, you know, that's quite painful because obviously we're all full people with, you know, like nuance. And obviously people aren't going to understand all of you. I think with tape, I think you have to put that in the normal bin, don't you? So I'll just pop that on the table. I just have a fear of being typecast and put in a box I don't belong in. And I know that that is kind of inherently part of putting yourself out there. People are going to misunderstand you. So, okay, Pringles cans. The packet says that you can recycle them. Tube recycle, lid recycle, seal do not recycle. That's another one for the table. Let's see if I can, yeah, okay, flatten this. Very cool. But yeah, I want to talk about what I'm passionate about. Oh my God, my cat is going crazy. She's called Mona, by the way, like Mona the vampire. Which was a noughties cartoon here in the UK. Some of my colleagues at work are too young to know what that is, and it makes me feel about 1 million years old when they don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of fear, and it's kind of ridiculous, and it's just like limiting beliefs that are holding me back. So no better way, I think, to kind of address them than to just, oh my God, Mona, hello, you okay? I think there's no better way to kind of address fears than just to like slap them in the face. But just to like hit like head on is what I mean. I can't remember like the full phrase, like hit them head on, attack them head on, tackle it head on. You know what I mean. But okay, lid recycle, full recycle, tin recycle. Okay, it's a bit too hard for me to actually be able to crush that, so it's gonna have to go whole. But yeah, I think especially given that, so spoiler alert, I am a lefty because I want that shouldn't be in the recycling. I want there to be less inequality in the world. I studied philosophy at uni. I told you everything probably. Yeah. Kind of obviously studying ethics, like whether something's right or wrong, but also like political philosophy and just like thinking about how to make society better for like the most number of people, like how to maximize society sort of thing. And I really loved that. And then I think as I've like joined the corporate world, I think just my like some of my passion, and like some of my previous youthful optimism has been eroded away, and I've just increasingly become more and more silent, and I don't want to be silent anymore. I want to add my voice, and I also just like have an outlet to talk about my ideas. But yeah, it's pretty terrifying, because there are probably going to be people who don't agree with me and say mean things to me, and it might make me cry. I'm quite a sensitive person. But, oh, another film. Like, sensitive, but I just want to, just got to remember that, like, I've got valid things to say, and like I don't need to be. There are lots of people who are not experts in subjects talking about that subject online, and like, why can't I be one of those yappers as well? I want to talk about like life in the UK and how that is, especially if you're like a young or younger person, with the housing like crisis, just wealth inequality, and like just the struggles. That's gonna be smelly. Don't smell it, Mona. That's gonna be very smelly. I'm not looking forward to this. Ah! Holding my breath. Mona's sniffing. You tell me, how does that smell, Mona? Yeah, gross. Okay, I think everything... Oh no, it's just these like cartons. They are... I try and do it as I go along, but sometimes I'm just in a rush, you know. I've just got to have my latte. But yeah, I want to talk about how to make things better and how ridiculous some things are. Like, our fucking class system is ridiculous in the UK. Again, tries to box people. And yeah, I think people should just be finding community more. And that's kind of what I want to do online. Which is sort of paradoxical, because I guess like ideally you'd be making community in person, which I am also working on. But I think because I think having a little creative outlet online will just help me. Oh dear. Will help me gain confidence again, because I'm kind of addressing a fear. So some of my social anxiety can hopefully be overcome. That's the plan anyway. But yeah. Okay, I think it's all basically flat now. You excited? Very like thrilling content today. I hope you can see Mona. Having a little cat. Mona was my first cat. I've never had a cat before, and I always thought I would be like. I always grew up in a very like pro-dog, anti-cat family. But having a cat is amazing. And people say that they're not loving and stuff. Mona is so clingy. It's ridiculous. I work from home, so I'm just always here. And she's actually, she's never been apart from me since coming home here. So yeah, I think she'd have like a mental breakdown if I left her for any long period. The holidays I have done in the last year since having her have all been like in the UK, and she's a bit of an adventure cat, so she's always come with me, which maybe I'll try and film at some point, which would be cute. But yeah, so I've not even like gone on holiday away from her, which is probably bad pet parenting on my part, because it's going to be a bad shock once I do need to go away. Okay, I was hoping everything would then like neatly fit into this bag, which is the snowman like Christmas present bag. But yeah, I think basically we need less perfection online, and we just need to be more real and let people in more. Less bullshit. Oh god, it's breaking. Okay. But yeah, maybe next time I'll be doing an activity that's a bit less gross. But yeah, I've started to kind of touch on some subjects I want to talk about and like expand on, I suppose, and that's me kind of like dipping my toe in, talking about issues that actually like really matter and that are important to me. Because I think I've always thought, like, who am I to have an opinion online? Like, who am I to do this and have like imposter syndrome and stuff? But there are a lot of people with very loud voices saying quite nasty, horrible things, or even dangerous things. So yeah, it's time to speak up. You okay? It's time to speak up, and it's okay to have an opinion, and it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to change your mind, and we're all growing and learning, and I want to overcome my fears, and I'm not going to overcome them without actually doing it. Without actually tackling them head on, which I'm 90% sure is the phrase. But yeah, so thank you very much. I've crushed all my recycling, and now I'm going to take it down to the bins outside.